Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. In this video, we are going to do some measurements on the diameters and the height of crowns on all or some of these watches. So what prompted me to do this kind of video? Well, I get several comments, especially on the Orient Mako 2 that I had that I flipped away, and also on the Kamasu that when I said that the crown is a little bit too small, I have people coming back at me and saying that no, the crown is normal size. And on top of that, this one is kind of unrelated, but I have to vent my frustration here. I can't believe that in this kind of age, we still have people wrist shaming people with smaller wrist. Okay, I have a small wrist, a 6-inch wrist, and I do not ask to be born with a 6-inch wrist. It's kind of natural, it's what I get from being me, right? So why do I still see people wrist shaming people with smaller wrists, like I would say 6 inches and below? All right, I cannot understand what is wrong with these kind of people. Yes, if you have a big wrist, if you have a bigger wrist, lucky you, right? You're part of a lucky group that has average size wrist that can enjoy wristwatches. But it doesn't mean that people with smaller wrist sizes cannot enjoy watches. All right, so I hope that you don't get bothered by me venting out my frustration, but it has been piling me for a while now. And with that out of the way, let's do some measurement here. So I'm gonna start off with this one is sort of like my new acquisition is Orient Ray with the orange dial. So what I'm gonna do is to unscrew the crown, and hopefully I can measure the diameter of the crown. So this is the caliper, it's plastic caliper that I'm using. So hopefully I can measure the diameter of the crown. It's 5.9 millimeters. I'm gonna write that down. So well, don't worry, I will give you a table at the end of the video, but it's for me just to record, and having problem measuring the depth, so I'm just gonna try my best to do a good guess. Well, it's about 3.1, I would say. And next we have the Orient Kamasu, the famous Orient Kamasu. This one is with the reed dial. I believe I did a video review on this. So let's unscrew the crown and do some measurement. 5.8. And here is about 3.4 millimeters, the height of the crown. And next we are going to measure this Vostok Amphibia Neptune. I'm just still going to unscrew it. Hopefully I can measure the height better. But I can see that it's really a big crown here. It's about 7 millimeters. And the height is, can I clamp it? No, the height is, well, about 4.1. Next is gonna be the mini turtle. Unscrew the crown, measure the diameter, 6.5. Well, maybe around 3.7. 6.5 and 3.7. And next is the Seiko Monster. This one is a black and gold monster. I think it's a Gen 2 monster. I'm gonna do a review on this video very soon, so just stay tuned to my channel. The diameter is 6.9 millimeters. It's about 4. 6.9, 4. And next is the Christopher Ward Mark II. This is the 38 millimeters version. It's no longer available from Christopher Ward, but it's a good size for people with smaller wrists like me. 6.4. 6.4 by 3.5. And yeah, this one is the Tudor Black Bay 36. It's also a good size for people with smaller wrists like me. This one is not a dive watch, but I think the crown is big enough for it to be categorized as you know, one of the big crowns watch. So I can measure that. Yep, 6.3 diameter. Well, it's a bit hard to measure because there is a sort of like a step crown. So I'm gonna call it around 2.3. So it's 6.4 and 2.3, or 6.3, 6.4, 2.3. And next is the Nodus Contrail. This one is also not a dive watch, but it has a look of a dive watch, so I'm just measuring it. 5.9. 5.9 and about 3.9. And the last one, it's also a pilot's watch. It's not a dive watch, but the crown is big enough, but it's not as big as the regular Flieger watch. This one is the Laco Aachen 39mm. So the crown is slightly smaller than the real deal here, but it's still big enough. It's not a screw down crown, so I don't have to unscrew it. It has a diameter of 7mm. I think it's one of the biggest here. Right? I'm just gonna pull out the crown and measure the thickness. I think it's gonna be tough for me to measure this one, but I'm just gonna give it a good guess. Say around, yeah, around the range of 3.4. Okay, here is the result. If my video editing software is working as expected, you should be able to see the results here. The first watch is the Orient Ray, the orange dial Orient Ray. It has a crown diameter of 5.6mm and a crown height of 3.1mm. So it is the watch with the smallest crown among all these. So yes, I think I was right to say that Orient Mako, Orient Ray, Orient Komatsu, they have smaller than average crown among dive watches, and making it a little tough to manipulate the crown. Okay, the next watch that we have is the Vostok Amphibia Neptune. I think it has one of the biggest crown among dive watches here. The diameter is 7mm and the height is 4.1mm. Next up, we have the Mini Turtle. It's without a crown guard. Let me just pull the watch here. It's without a crown guard, but the crown, it's also quite big. It's at 6.8mm and it has a crown height of 3.7mm. Next up is the Seiko Monster, the Gold Black Monster. It has a crown diameter of 6.9mm and a crown height of 4mm. Okay. Next is the Christopher Ward Trident C60 600 Mark II 38mm. Yeah, it has a very long name, so I might be calling it in the wrong sequence, but this is the watch. And it has quite a big crown as well at 6.4mm and the crown height at 3.8mm. Next up is not a true dive watch, but it's in the range of the Tudor Black Bay, which are dive watches, but this one is only has 150 meters of water resistance, but it has the similar type of crown. The crown diameter is 6.4 and the height is one of the lowest. It's at 2.3mm. Next up is a pilot's watch. It's the Nodus Contrail from a micro brand Nodus. It has a crown diameter of 5.9mm and a crown height of 3.9mm. Last but not least, we have another pilot's watch or Flieger watch from Laco, the Laco Aachen 39mm. It has a crown diameter of 7mm and a crown height of 3.4mm. All right, so there you have it. So I'm not wrong to say that Orient dive watches have smaller crowns. So please stop shouting at me for being wrong. Okay, yeah, just joking. Well, it's good that you people put this kind of comments so that I have ideas to make newer videos. All right, so please keep the comments coming in and be nice. And yes, that's all for this video. If you're new to my channel, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. You can also follow me on my Instagram at gfw_watch. Till then, I'll catch you guys in the next video and stay safe, everybody. Bye bye.